Lock and load, my battle lambs. It's time for NT Sheep's Digital Wonderlands. Welcome back, my little lambs, for video 3 of our Halo Combat Evolved series. We're picking right up where we left off. We're getting the bridge activated, and then we're going to travel across it as we continue to explore these ancient ruins and search for any survivors. So, let's grab our snacks and drinks and let's go! I need to check my controller configuration real quick, because I keep thinking that there's a run button, but I don't think there was for Halo. I think you always moved at the same speed. Again, when you play as many games as I do during the week, bouncing from one system to another and from one game to another, it kind of gets hard sometimes to keep the controls straight. Over the years, a lot of game developers, though, have gotten to where they're pretty much using the same controller layout, so that makes newer games easier, but getting back into an old one like this, it can be a bit of a mind bender.
There's new traffic on the Covenant battle network. A lot more crew made it off the Autumn than I had predicted. The Captain really gave them hell. If we can find Captain Keyes and the other survivors, we have a chance to coordinate an effective resistance.
We're coming up to a life pod, and our goal is pretty simple. We need to take out the enemies in the area as quickly as possible, and hopefully we'll be able to save some of the Marines that survived the crash. So, let's see what we can do. Well, that didn't exactly work out too well. We were out of shields, but we still had a couple of bars of health. I'm not sure if the enemy took us out with one of their grenades, or if while we were trying to throw ours off, it accidentally exploded. But let's go ahead and try again. These little guys with the shield can be fairly easy to take out if you can get close. Usually a quick burst from your weapon will cause them to try and run and hide, and then if you can sneak up on them, you can take them out instantly with a bash hit.
There are some Marines hiding in the hills above the structure.
What the? Amigos, found them!
Stop. We need to stay here with the Marines until evac arrives.
Por Dios! Whoa! Here comes more! You can't hide from me! There it is!
Echo 419 to Cortana, come in.
We read you, Echo 419. We have survivors and need immediate dust-off.
Roger, Cortana. On my way. I've spotted additional lifeboats in your area. One near a rock slide, and another near the cliff edge. Hard to see from my altitude, but it looks like there are more survivors. Acknowledged. We're on our way.
Okay, so we've cleared the enemies from this area, and the Marines that were hiding here have come out, and they're going to get rescued by the drop ship here. This is a good chance to sit there and roam around and pick up any items that you want. Maybe switch around to try some of the alien weapons if you'd like. We're just going to try and make sure we top off all our ammo and grenades, and then we're going to hop in the Warthog and move on to the next area. There's at least 2 more life pods apparently that we've got to find and see if we can get some survivors rescued. I'm still having trouble getting used to controlling the Warthog. I had to look it up, but you're not actually steering the Warthog by using the controls. The Warthog steers itself, and what it's doing is it goes in whatever direction you're looking. So, if you're used to racing games and other games that have you driving vehicles, you're probably used to the whole thing of using the control pad or the joystick, and whichever direction you move those turns the tires and turns your vehicle that way. The Warthog, it's kind of the reverse. It's going to go wherever you're aiming at, so I gotta try and definitely reprogram myself to think in that mode when I'm playing this game. I'm not actually turning the vehicle is turning itself to the direction that I'm looking.
Survivors detected. Marines are concealed in those rocks.
Damn! Can't hide from me! I see him!
Okay, so we're coming up to another life pod, which means there should be some Marines hiding in the area, and there's probably going to be several waves of enemies for us to fight off. So, sweep the area and clear it, and rescue those Marines.
What the? There's another one! That one's free!
Echo 419 to Cortana. Foehammer's on station and ready for another pickup. Affirmative, Foehammer. We're ready for dust-off. Approach when ready. We're going to look for the last lifeboat, Echo 419. Good luck.
With Halo and many of the first-person shooters that came after it, sniper rifles are some of the most iconic weapons in the games, and they're usually pretty darn powerful. The trade-off is that they can be tricky to control. When you aim with them, there could be camera sway, you might need to sit there and press a button which will cause you to take a deep breath and hold steady for just a second or two, giving you the chance to get off that perfect shot. We're going to sit there and have some fun with this later, but let's go ahead and continue our search for more survivors.
Cavalry has arrived.
Warning. I've picked up reports that the Covenant has located and secured the Pillar of Autumn's crash site. The good news is the captain is still alive. The bad news is that the Covenant have captured the entire surviving command crew. Let's hurry and find the final lifeboat so we can link up with the rest of the survivors.
So not only did the captain manage to crash land the ship, he's actually managed to survive the ship going down. Our mission just got a lot more important. Not only are we trying to rescue survivors so we can build our fighting force back up, but we've got to rescue our captain.
Hey. Oh, this is it.
Maybe they took cover in that structure. Let's check it out.
Okay, so now it's going to be a good time to try out our new sniper rifle. Let's see how well we can line up shots, what kind of range we've got on it, and let's see if we can stick to the age-old sniper tradition. One shot, one kill.
Here comes more. What the? Hey, nice shot. Oh, over there!
There's a lot of enemies hiding around the corner of these rooms. Driving your Warthog in as close as possible so your passengers can help you fight them off is a really good tactic. You also want to try and pay attention. These ruins do go underground, and you're going to have to go in to rescue some of the Marines that are trapped here. It just took me a while to find it and remember where to go, so if it ever seems like, you're stuck in an area, just try and pay close attention. There's usually going to be a small doorway or something that you may not have noticed the first time, but if you're looking out for it, you'll usually find it. At this point, I still hadn't realized that there was a doorway here for me to go down, so I started to leave the area and then got the warning that, there were still people that needed to be rescued. Turning back and searching more, I was able to find it. So we're going to go down there and get everybody rescued, and you'll want to be careful. There's survivors down there, but there's also enemies down there, and if you aren't paying attention, you might end up with a few friendly fire shots.
I knew there was one on board.
Let's call for an evac.
Wait, we can't see anything. Assist on that one. I'll find the bastard.
That's the last of them. Roger that. I'm on my way.
New traffic on the Covenant BattleNet. I found Captain Keyes. He's being held on a Covenant cruiser, the Truth and Reconciliation, a ship I disabled before we abandoned the Autumn. The Truth and Reconciliation touched down on a desert plateau roughly 300 kilometers upspin.
Okay, so we rescued more survivors. We've found out where the captain is being held. But that brings us to the end of the video, so thank you so much for watching, my little lambs, and I hope to see you again next time in the Digital Wonderlands.